They rolled her in like she was already gone. No lights, no sirens, no ID, just the ambulance. Silent in the dark, like it had driven out of a dream and stopped at our door. She wasn't on any log. No one called it in. No one even knew who opened the ER bay. I didn't either. I just remember the knock. 3 times, slow, not panicked, not rushed, just deliberate. When I stepped into the corridor, the lights flickered once, long enough for my shadow to stretch across the floor, then snap back. That's when I saw her, laid out on the stretcher like something half remembered from a nightmare. Skin pale, almost gray. Fingernails blood dark from where she'd clenched her fists too long. Her eyes fluttered, but never fully opened. Not like she was sleeping. More like she was stuck between 2 different dreams and couldn't climb out of either. Her lips moved once. "Please don't let me back in." I don't know if I heard it or if I just knew it. The ambulance had already left. I wheeled her into exam 3. No vitals on record, no wristband. She was cold to the touch, but sweating. And her skin, it looked bruised, like something had tried to force its way out from underneath. That's when I noticed it. Her pupils dilated, but not round, stretched, vertical slits that twitched, like they were adjusting to light that wasn't there. The smell, not just blood, there was something sharp under it, metallic, but sweet, like burnt sugar and hot copper wire. It made my nose sting, and her jaw, it wouldn't stay closed. Her teeth kept tapping. 3 clicks, then a pause. I tried to place the oxygen mask over her face, but her mouth opened wide like she was screaming, only no sound came out. The hallway lights blew out. The monitor flashed symbols I'd never seen, characters that didn't belong in our alphabet. I froze, couldn't move. My hand still on the mask. My skin felt tight, like it didn't fit anymore. I blinked, and for a moment, everything blurred. Was I still holding the mask? Did I do it? Had I been standing there for seconds? Minutes? Each second stretched thin, taut like it was about to snap. My heart thudded in my ears, drowning out the ringing of the lights, the hum of the monitor, the taste of copper on my tongue. Then, just as suddenly, she dropped back. Eyes wide open, mouth half parted. But the monitor kept beeping, slow and steady, like it couldn't decide if she was alive or not. Or maybe something else was using her body to pretend. I didn't press the code button. I couldn't, because I swear she blinked. The monitor stayed steady, but I swear her chest wasn't moving. I stood there too long, just staring. It felt like hours. Maybe it was seconds. Time, again, twisted. My mind was caught in this loop, like the moment couldn't be real. A strange sort of heaviness settled into my chest, like I was standing at the edge of a cliff, staring down into a fog that stretched for miles, but couldn't see what lay below. I felt like I was suffocating in it, the air thick with the scent of something gone wrong. I glanced at the clock. 3:04? Had I really just stood there for 4 minutes? It seemed impossible. Anna knocked on the door, and I barely registered it. She asked if I needed help. I didn't answer. My mouth had gone dry. The only thing I could focus on was the patient, her eyes still wide open, staring at nothing and everything at once. In the break room, my gloves were still on, stiff and cold against my skin. My hands shook uncontrollably, the tremors so violent that I knocked over my coffee, spilling it across the table. But it wasn't the mess that consumed me. It was the sound. That endless clicking rhythm of her teeth. 3. Pause. 3. Pause. The sound was in my head, throbbing like a heartbeat of its own. I couldn't escape it. I didn't know how long I sat there, trying to will my hands steady, before Anna came in again. She said the patient had been moved to observation. I asked who ordered it. She blinked, said she thought I did. I didn't. I went to check the log. There was a chart now. Hastily written vitals, unsigned notes. Under time of arrival, it read 0300. Under origin, it just said Weldon. Weldon isn't a hospital, not anymore. It's a name no one says out loud, unless they're old enough to remember what this place used to be. Dan once found a scrap of letterhead jammed behind the old breaker panel near the stairwell. Weldon Sanitarium, it said. I laughed at the time, thought it sounded like something out of a ghost story. It doesn't sound funny anymore. Later in the shift, the power dipped again, just for a second. Everything came back to normal, but the camera feed in the ER glitched. Dan pulled it later from the system. He showed it to me, but he almost didn't. I could see his finger hesitate over the delete key. It showed myself, standing in the hallway outside exam 3, and someone else just behind me. Another nurse wearing older uniform, hands clasped and the faces blurred, like she was waiting for me to move. I didn't tell anyone about the cloth, the one the woman was holding in her hand, same blue as the uniform I was wearing, same initials stitched into the corner, CMW. It tugged at something, not fear exactly, more like recognition. I couldn't place it at first. I leaned back against the desk and stared at the screen. Then I thought of Dan's old compass, the one sitting on his shelf. His uncle gave it to him when he was a boy. I don't know why I remembered it right then, but I swear, the last time I flipped it over, I saw something carved into the back. 3 faint letters, CMW. Maybe I'm imagining it. Maybe it's nothing. Or maybe this hospital is making me remember things that were never mine to begin with. I found Dan later that morning, sitting in the security office, replaying the camera feed for the 3rd time. He didn't hear me come in. I asked if he slept at all, and he said no. Said the feed skipped again, not just the ER cam. The hallway near admin glitched too. Same timestamp. 2:58 a.m., then nothing, then 3:07. He kept scrubbing the frames, back and forth. I asked him what he was looking for. He said, I don't know. I think someone else was there. He looked pale, unshaved. His knuckles were bruised, probably from hitting the old rack server again. He does that when he's frustrated. I sat down across from him watching the screen. There was a moment, frozen mid-glitch, where the hallway didn't look right. Like the walls weren't our walls. The tiles were darker. The door numbers were different. A stretcher was just barely visible near the edge of the frame, with wheels too small, too old to belong to anything modern. Dan froze it and leaned in. He didn't say anything for a while. Then he whispered, almost to himself, "This isn't the first time." I asked what he meant. He shook his head, said he didn't know. But I could tell he did. Or maybe he was remembering something he'd spent years trying to forget. Before I left, he reached into the desk drawer and pulled something out. A lanyard. Old, faded. The plastic ID holder was cracked, but the name inside was clear enough. It wasn't mine. And it wasn't anyone working here now. I asked him where he found it. He said, in the wall behind the fire extinguisher near West Wing. Looked like it had been plastered over, but someone cut it back out. I held it under the desk lamp. There was a symbol burned into the plastic, faint but still there. The Three Feathers logo. The following day, I walked past observation. The bed was empty. No transfer log, no time of death, no chart. But the vitals monitor was still beeping, slow and steady, like something was waiting. Above the headboard, scratched into the paint, were 3 marks. Not letters, not numbers, just 3 vertical slits, like staring eyes or feathers. I leaned closer. That's when I heard the breath right behind me. I turned. No one. But it felt like someone should have been. The monitor spiked. The lights overhead shattered. Glass scattered across the floor. Then I heard it. 3 knocks. Slow, deliberate. Coming from inside the storage closet. I backed away, hand shaking on the door handle. The closet creaked open an inch, then stopped. And from the dark crack, a voice broken, hoarse, but clear, whispered,
"I forgive you, Veronica."